Hi, I'm Owen. It's Misha Owen. I'm from Bitesize Irish Gaelic.com, and today in this video I'm going to cover the differences between the terms, between the phrases Irish, Irish Gaelic, Gaelic, and a couple of more terms thrown in as well. And I'm coming at it from the Irish perspective, from being in Ireland. So officially, Ireland as a country, the Republic of Ireland, has two official languages, English and Irish, what we call Irish. So Irish is a Celtic language. It's spoken mainly along the Atlantic west coast of Ireland. It's really some small pockets, some small communities along the coast that still speak Irish as the main language. You'll find in counties, especially Donegal, up towards the north of Ireland, Galway towards the west, and County Kerry towards the southwest. That's where you're most likely to find the Irish language spoken. So where else is it spoken? I mean, kids learn Irish in school for about 13 years, even though that many people in Ireland claim that they don't speak a word of Irish. I don't believe them. You shouldn't believe them. There's also a TV channel, TG Cahir. There's a radio station, Radio na Gaeltachta. You can find groups and associations of people who'll speak the language with you. So you won't always hear Irish language spoken, but you can go and seek it out. So I'm calling this language just Irish, and that might be a bit peculiar for you. You might also call it the Irish language. So I'm no historian, but I'm told that the Irish language has been established in Ireland for, last couple of thousand years. It's a Celtic language that came with the Celts, or from the Celts in Central Europe, and it's been spoken in Ireland ever since. So what you might call Gaelic, I just call Irish. And if you're speaking in the Irish language, you call the language Gaeilge. Now there's different ways and different pronunciations even of that, depending on your accent, dialect. Okay, we won't get into that right now. But it's the same as if you're speaking about people in France, we say in English that they speak French. But if it's you're speaking in the French language, you call that language Français. So in the same way, we speak about Irish in English, but you speak about Gaeilge. That's the name of the language in Irish. Hope I explained that enough. Now, up next is the topic of Gaelic. So it's getting a bit more complicated now as we go along. So just to give you a bit of background, maybe, not to go into too many details yet. On a good day, if you're standing on the coast of Northern Ireland, you'll see across the sea the tip of Scotland. I'm not sure, is it an actual Scottish peninsula or an island, but it's officially Scotland that you can see across the water. Now, hundreds of years ago, the language of the Gaels, the language of the Irish, spread across into Scotland as the Irish moved across in there. So at a certain point, we basically had the same language with different dialects, different accents, spreading all the way across the island of Ireland, and then across the sea into Scotland. So, as I see it, it was really there was a continuum of accents, right? You're down in Kerry. There's an Irish language accent. You move up slightly north. The accent changes with each village. You get to the very tip, the north of Ireland. They have a certain accent there. You jump across the sea into Scotland, and the language, the Celtic language being spoken there is very close, right? So it's really just like a gradual change into what we today call a different language. So in my terms, we have Gaelic in Scotland, and the language Irish in Ireland. Although the languages are very, very close. There's some differences, of course. So what I'm telling you, what I call the language in Scotland is Gaelic. So I said we speak Irish in Ireland. In Scotland, as well as English, they speak Gaelic. When you're speaking in the Gaelic language in Scotland, you call the language Gaeilge. So it's very similar to what we call Gaeilge. That's our name for the Irish language. They call it Gaeilge. Okay. So now let's get a bit more complicated, or try to explain it a bit more even, because I still haven't covered Irish Gaelic, right? That term either. So I'm going to dare say, this is very dangerous and I might get bad comments about this, but I'm going to dare say that you say that in Ireland we speak Irish when we're referring to the Celtic language here, and in Scotland they speak Gaelic. Okay, so Irish in Ireland, Gaelic in Scotland, and that's quite a daring thing to say, but it's really, for me, that's my common usage of the terms, right? It's nothing too out of the ordinary for me to say. Okay, having said that, if you're, for example, an American, and if you come to Ireland, and let's say you ask your tour guide about the Irish language, they might be surprised that you know about the Irish language even. They know that you might know that language as Gaelic, right? So if you are encounter somebody in Ireland, they might very well speak about Gaelic to you. So it's fair enough, isn't it? If we have the word Gaeilge to call our language Irish, then it's only a bit of transliteration from Gaeilge to Gaelic to call the language. So it's quite natural that that happens. So depending on the context, Gaelic can refer to the Irish language. Now, what I do, which is a bit dangerous because not everybody likes this, but I like to refer to the Irish language as Irish Gaelic. So that's, if I just said Gaelic, it might not be very clear whether I'm speaking about the language in Scotland or in Ireland, or perhaps both. But outside of Ireland especially, I don't use this term if I'm speaking with somebody in Ireland, because it doesn't make sense. They understand if I just say Irish. I speak Irish. But outside, if I'm speaking, for example, to an American, perhaps an Australian, I'm going to use the term Irish Gaelic, just to be sure that we understand what language we're referring to, instead of just Gaelic. And if I use the term Irish, they may not understand what I mean even. So to summarize, really, I hope I've explained it well enough anyway. I hope you caught what I've been trying to say anyway. So first of all, we speak Irish in Ireland as well as English. It's another language. Irish is a Celtic language. So Irish in Ireland. I'm going to say that they speak Gaelic in Scotland, a very similar language. We can almost understand each other, and many people speak both dialects or both languages, as some people do anyway. And for absolute clarity, I refer to the Irish language as Irish Gaelic, and I refer to the Scottish Celtic language as Scots Gaelic, just to be really clear what I'm speaking about. And remember that we in Ireland call the language Gaeilge. You might hear other pronunciations a bit like Gaeilge or Gaolainn. They're different kind of regional names for the Irish language. And in Scotland, they would refer to the language something as Gàidhlig. Sorry, I don't have the accent though, I'm not sure. So, now I've covered that up for you. Now I want you to do something. If you fancy learning a bit of the Irish language, I can't teach you Scottish Gaelic, but I can teach you a bit of Irish Gaelic. Head on over to www.bitesizeirishgaelic.com/beginners. And what you'll find there is our free mini course called Irish for Beginners. It's an Irish language, Celtic language course, mini course, that's delivered to you by email every couple of days. So visit www.bitesizeirishgaelic.com/beginners, put in your name and your email, and we'll send you your first free lesson today. Okay, hope you enjoyed this video, and Slán Tamil. See you for now. Bye for now.